This mindset is the reason that you are miserable. It's the reason that you're not happy with your body, with your girlfriend, with your current car, with the way that your life is going right now. It's also the reason that when you buy a new phone or a car or a house or a new pair of shoes, that the pleasure that you get when you first buy it fades away. And it's the reason that you cannot find fulfillment or meaning in your life. It's because of a mindset known as the hedonic mindset. Now, there are two mindsets you can have in life. There is the hedonic mindset, which is pleasure seeking, or the eudaimonic mindset, which I'll tell you more about at the end of this video. But what I first want to run you through is what is known as hedonic adaptation, which is a byproduct of having this mindset. So essentially, we have a baseline of happiness. We each have a different baseline, but there is essentially a baseline of happiness that we all have. And whenever we try and increase our levels of happiness through purchasing things or building muscle, or whatever it may be, we're still going to be brought back to that mindset. But the issue is that we adapt to the things that we have over time. So we can get a nicer car, but as soon as we adapt to having that car no longer brings us any happiness. In fact, it will probably bring you just as much happiness as your old car, your old Honda Civic or your old Toyota Corolla or whatever you had before you bought a BMW or a Mercedes. It's going to make you equally as happy because of hedonic adaptation. And the reason this happens is because of what's known as the hedonic treadmill. So here's how the hedonic treadmill works. Initially, we have a desire, right? It's a desire for something because we believe that it will bring us pleasure and happiness. So once we create that desire and we create a goal to achieve it or attain it, we start to strive for that thing until we eventually obtain it. We then enjoy that thing, right? We get the new car and we can put it on Instagram, and every time we get in and drive it, it makes us happy and fulfills us. But then all of a sudden, that enjoyment starts to wither away. And that happens because we adapt. What happens when we adapt is that we once again desire that feeling that we had. And so we desire more. And then we repeat this cycle. And this is what's at the root of consumerism and the consumerist mindset of always needing to buy the next thing, the next iPhone, the next pair of shoes, the next car. It's the reason that people spend so much money upgrading their lifestyle and never end up actually attaining significant amounts of financial wealth, because they increase their income, and alongside their income, their lifestyle expenses increase as a byproduct, because they feel like, well, I'm earning more, so I may as well enjoy life a bit more. But that's a fallacy. These people don't actually enjoy life any more than someone who has far less. And again, this happens because of hedonic adaptation. So let's say that this is your baseline level of happiness. And let's say that you buy a new car. This will bring your happiness above your baseline. You will enjoy the car. It will bring you satisfaction for the time being. But the longer that you own that car, the more that you start to adapt to having that car, over time, you'll start to be brought back to baseline. And at that point, again, we desire more. And so we repeat that cycle of going and trying to buy the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, thinking that it's somehow going to bring us happiness and fulfillment. Now, the opposite's also true. Let's say that you, lose an amount of money, or you crash the car, right? So you crash that same car that you just bought. That's going to put you below your baseline of happiness. But with time, based on this hedonic adaptation, we will restore back to our baseline of happiness. And so what this is really trying to say is that when you pursue pleasure or avoid pain, it really doesn't influence your baseline level of happiness or your actual fulfillment from your life. And so this is the trap that a lot of people run into, because they believe that they can somehow manipulate their happiness. But the reason they think that is because they have the wrong idea of happiness. They think that happiness and pleasure are synonymous. They think that they are the same thing, but they are not the same thing. What real happiness is, as I define it, is peace of mind and fulfillment, which comes from a sense of meaning and a sense of purpose, and of course connection as well with other people and with the world at large. And for some of you who think, in a more spiritual or religious sense, with the God or the universe. So like I mentioned at the start, there are two mindsets. We have the hedonic mindset, which is pleasure seeking, and we also have the eudaimonic mindset. And the eudaimonic mindset is the key to actual fulfillment and happiness in your life. And what it really constitutes is a pursuit of meaning, a pursuit of fulfillment and growth and purpose and service. It's the pursuit of trying to grow as a person in all areas of your life, as a person, in your career, in your relationships, in your communication skills, in your mental and emotional fortitude, and your ability to manage the stresses of life. It's the pursuit of growth, not the pursuit of pleasure and the pursuit of more things, more cars for the sake of having more cars, more money for the sake of having more money. It's actually the pursuit of growth internally, which of course you can, set goals that are external and forms of external growth to create the internal growth. But at the end of the day, fundamentally, it is about creating internal growth and internal fulfillment that comes from the pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself, serving the world at the highest possible level, and ultimately deriving meaning from your experiences. You completely escape this dichotomy and this trap of the hedonic adaptation cycle, and you essentially rise above it into a new state that is the upward trend of fulfillment and growth, which in my opinion is what actually raises your baseline of happiness. So the long story short of this is really that you have to escape the cycle of desiring more and more things, whether it's for the status that you'll gain from your social circle, or just simply the ability to feel like it somehow makes you a more valuable person, or even just the flat out belief that it makes you happier to have more things because you see other people with things and they are happy, therefore more things must make you happy. It's just false. And in order for you to achieve real fulfillment and happiness in your life and to raise your baseline of happiness, you really need to escape this paradigm, escape this pursuit of happiness, and instead pursue meaning and growth intrinsically, right? For something that is greater than your selfish desires. So that is it for this video, guys. If you got value, be sure to subscribe. Links below to my book and my free course and my community and all other sorts of stuff. And with that, appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one.